1444 connectwithlou.com. Real Estate SOS continues. Lou, we have your friend Denise Lash, a real estate lawyer, on the air with us now to enlighten us, educate. Right?
Absolutely. Welcome back, Denise. Happy Sunday to you. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, it's wonderful to be here.
Now, Denise, you specialize in condominium law. Is that correct? Or are you across the board?
No, I only do condo.
Okay,
condo work.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So one of the questions that seems to come up over and over again, particularly when I run into clients, is that the set of documents that people receive when they buy a condominium, either pre-construction or through the status certificate, tends to be a pretty hefty, chunky set of documents, which a lot of people look at and go, what the heck is all of that? Talk us through that a little bit, Denise. What is in all that stuff?
Yeah, well, it's quite overwhelming, and I don't think I've ever met a purchaser who reads the documentation. So, it is not just the documents, but it's also the Condominium Act. Mm-hmm. And so, there may be rules, and there are, sometimes there are 25 pages of rules, but there's also the Condominium Act, which sets out certain things, like you can't put things on common elements, and that may be in the rules, so you have to know that. And then you also have to read the declaration. That's the document that creates the condominium corporation, and that is the one that is really important for purchasers and owners to read because it has all the obligations of the owner. And the rules themselves, what we've been dealing with lately at our office is this constant flow of owners who are not complying.
Do tell.
So,
tell.
Well,
they're not complying. They're not. What is the not? Okay. Here's a question.
Not complying is a breach of a rule.
Yeah. Right.
So what will happen? It can be as small, or if you consider it small, as barbecuing on a balcony. Maybe you're not allowed to barbecue on a balcony, but you're a purchaser. You went out and you bought this brand new balcony, propane balcony, a barbecue to place on your balcony. Mm-hmm. And then you realize that there's prohibitions in the documents that don't allow it. And, so that can be for an owner, a purchaser who buys that and goes to the expense, they can't really understand it. But had they reviewed it ahead of time, they would have known. Mm-hmm. Now, we have, and I don't know if you heard about that recent case decision about the woman and the flower box. Did you hear about that?
I heard something about it, but
how does it work?
Enlighten our listeners about the woman in a flower box.
So you think a woman with a flower box, what's the big deal? Right. Well, it is a big deal. She had a patio, and when I was talking just moments ago about the Condominium Act, there's a prohibition that you can't just put things on the common elements. And a patio or a balcony, which is for your exclusive use, is considered a common element, even though you use it exclusively. Mm-hmm. And there are almost always restrictions. This woman put a flower box on her patio, and the corporation said, please remove it. Mm-hmm. She did not remove it. It is my home. I could do what I want, and you can't tell me what to do. So what did the corporation do is they went and they removed it. And it cost them $763 to remove it. Okay. Then they said to her, pay your $763. That's what it costs to remove it. She said, I'm not paying that. No. You shouldn't have removed it. So then what did they do? They registered a lien. And that's a lien that gives the corporation a right to recover unpaid maintenance fees or common expenses, and also chargebacks like these. They registered a lien. What did she do? She wouldn't pay it. She has a mortgage on her unit, and oftentimes the bank will pay those, but the bank refused to pay it as well. So then the litigation started happening, and this woman would not give up. There were 7 different court proceedings.
For a flower box.
For a flower box. And in the end, she wouldn't stop. And in the end, the court said that she was a vexatious litigant, and they prevented her from commencing any more litigation. And they awarded the corporation costs of $109,000, which means She had to pay $109,000 for a flower box.
Oh, my.
Those are some nice flowers in that flower box. Wow. She sounds like fun.
Well, what's very interesting is, and I read a little bit about her. She was a lawyer, or she may still be, and she could practice in other provinces, not in the province of Ontario. But I don't think so. But she represented herself.
Oh.
So had she gotten a lawyer to represent her, she could have been stuck with $200,000 in legal fees.
Yeah.
So this is just the condominium corporation side.
Wow. Buyer beware. Buyer beware. Read the documents. And I know they can be quite challenging, but I know that for most people, they will not read the documents. So the advice always is to reach out to a professional, someone like Denise, who specializes in condominium law. Now, Denise, is part of your service is to review these documents and then advise the client prior to making the purchase, correct?
Well, I want to tell you about that.
Tell me.
Because most purchasers will not pay their lawyers to review their documents. They shop around to get, and this is just my experience, not all purchasers, they want to get the best price for a closing. And they're not looking at somebody reviewing all those documents with them.
Oh, the best fee for closing a deal versus actually...
For closing a deal, sometimes they'll get the lawyer to review the agreement of purchase and sale. And we all know what that is, which has adjustments so you can negotiate. And sometimes they'll do that, but they won't pay the lawyer usually to review all the condo docs.
Okay.
Because I do pose the question, like, do you play a musical instrument? Do you have a pet? These are all things that you can run into trouble if you don't read the rules.
Absolutely.